This one was good too, but it wasn't as good. It wasn't really one of my favorite books of the year.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello bookworms,
I'm Icy,
and I'm Ivy.
and for this video, we've got a list of the best books we've read in 2019.
No, it's a bit late.
Better late than never.
Yep.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the books that we both liked. So the two books that we both liked. So we didn't get to read much books that we both read. So we didn't. So last year there's only two books that we both liked, that we both actually read. We didn't read similar books. The first book that we both liked
A City of Ghosts by V.E. Schwab or Victoria Schwab in the book. I'm not sure.
So it's about this girl who sees ghosts, and her parents happen to be
Ghost hunters.
yeah, ghost hunters, and they have like this documentary, and they went to
Edinburgh.
she pretty much goes on an adventure there, but her parents don't know that she sees ghosts. What did you like about it? Why is it in one of your best books?
I like it because Cassidy, the main character, I really like how adventurous she is. I like the relationship between her and the ghost best friend.
I think his name is Jacob or something.
Yeah, Jacob. I like how smart she is as a 12-year-old because when we were 12-year-olds,
We were dumb.
We
Dumb
were
AF.
stupid idiots. She's a very smart kid and her decisions are very
Mature
yeah.
for her age. And she's so brave too. Obviously there's ghosts, and she faces like the main villain. As an adult, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd be like, bye, I'm out.
It's also a favorite because it's a short book.
And it's so easy to read.
Yes, it's a middle grade book. For a middle grade book, it's not as boring as other books, and it's action packed. For adults like us, it's pretty interesting. Looking forward to the whole series.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the next book, which isn't out yet, I think.
It is out, but
it's not in the libraries
Yeah.
yet. So what I really liked about this book was, like she said, easy to read and easy to understand, and the pacing is really good. Because some books that I've read, it gets really exciting and then it's like a period of but this one, it's really consistent. The excitement builds up and then it doesn't disappoint, and I really liked it. And it was a bit scary too, because
Yes.
I usually read at night and the lights are off and have this little night light, and the descriptions are so
yeah, it's pretty scary.
but it was really good. It was very descriptive, and there's like this action scene towards the end. And for a middle grade book, it's pretty intense, I think. I gave it a 5 out of 5.
I gave it 4.5 out of 5.
The next one is
Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien Too by Johnny Sum. Graphic novel about an alien who was on a mission to explore the humans of the Earth, and the alien meets other animals on Earth,
other creatures,
living
living things.
things. Very, very cute, very, very wholesome.
Just look at the book. It's like, oh, it's so cute. I didn't really know what it was about, but except for the fact that it was an alien who was trying to explore, like to find humans and learn more about them. And when I was reading it, the illustrations were so cute, and there were so many quotes that I really liked. And like she said, it was very deep. I was actually caught off guard by the deepness of some of the dialogues. Like there's dialogues about like depression and stuff. Because the alien meets so many characters. The alien meets a tree stump, a beaver, an egg, and they all have different personalities. I guess like that's how the different types of people there are commonly in this world. Like especially with the beaver, he's always like working, doesn't have time to talk to the alien, always working on the dam. And then there's this egg who's like having an existential crisis. Who's the egg having an existential crisis?
What am I gonna be when I hatch?
the egg was too preoccupied with what it was gonna be. So like I guess that represents the younger generation taking up so much of their time that they don't focus on what they are now. Deep. And the tree who was stuck there. I think there was something that happened and then all of the animals left and the tree was just stuck there and the tree felt like, oh, I cannot move. Then the alien was like, I will stay with you, something like that. I like how deep it is. It's like I guess it's like the twist to the whole book, and I like how it's easy to read, and I finished it in one sitting. Did you?
No, I wanted to savor it a bit and read a few pages a day. So it took me a while to finish. I really like it because when you first look at it, it's like a coloring book because it's just black and white. And the drawings are very, very cartoonish. It's like targeted for children. But then the message of the conversation between the alien and the creatures of the earth, it's very simple yet very deep.
Straight to the point.
Yeah.
Very good. I gave it a 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
I think it's the most unique book I've read in terms of the structure and how it catches you off guard that it's actually deep. Anyway, and we're gonna move on to the individual books now that we actually liked in 2019. So,
the best book for me would be Vengeful by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab. Vengeful is the part 2 of the Villain series. So the first book is Vicious, which is about two guys who were rivals during their time in university when they were doing the research or the thesis or something, experimenting about the extraordinary
people with
superpower or something.
People with supernatural powers.
Yeah. Their heart stops and then they have an EpiPen or something. When they are revived, they have this superpower and on to each other, like chasing each other, trying to kill one another. And then on the second book, it's pretty much jam-packed.
Oh, jump-packed.
I find thick books very intimidating, but
how many pages was
it's like 500 something, and the font is so small. But then I like Victoria Schwab's writing because it's very, very
eloquent.
Yeah,
Like her writing style.
There's something about her writing that captures you. I'm not sure how many books are in this series, but yeah, it's in the works. I think it's gonna be a 6-book series.
Whoa.
And I'm looking forward to how it's gonna go from the second book because it's one of my favorites. I gave it a 5 out of 5.
You didn't talk about the second book, you talked about the first.
Because it will spoil it.
Looking back in 2019, I didn't have as much favorite books. I don't know why, but I rated quite a few books 5 out of 5 stars. One of the best books that I've read in 2019 is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. The first book was Strange to the Dreamer. It's very hard to explain what this book is about because it's a completely different world. And there's humans and gods and stuff, but it's like so completely different that if I say something it might spoil. Because of how Laini Taylor describes everything, it's very descriptive and the narrative was very clear and the sequencing of events, how stuff gets revealed along the way. I've also read Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I really like the writing style, but I just couldn't really get into it. I don't know why. So I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. If you've read Strange to the Dreamer, please read this. It's also a big book.
That's
both
why,
of them.
That's why I haven't read it.
Both of them, Strange to the Dreamer and Maze of Nightmares, are both big books. It can be very intimidating for a fantasy book that I can't really explain, and you can't really relate it to this world that we're in. Lainey's writing captures all of that perfectly.
My next book would be My Favorite Thing is Monsters by Emma Ferris. So it's a graphic novel. It's a very, very thick book.
Oh, that one!
Yeah, the big book. And it took me a while to finish it because, of course, I couldn't bring it anywhere. It's not very compact.
Reminded me of my biology book in high school.
Yeah. So it's about a girl who wanted to solve the mystery of how her neighbor died. So this girl is finding out who the killer is, but at the same time finding out more about herself and her family and how other people are. I really like how smart this little girl is, because I think she's very young as well. I think she's like 10 or something, but yeah, she's very young. She keeps a diary and she draws stuff in it. This book is like her diary, and she represents herself in the book as the monster. So she draws.
So she
her
draws
stuff.
a lot.
Yeah, she draws a book.
Did the
So-
author draw it as well?
Yeah.
Why?
I like how the drawings are very detailed. Like
I saw
everything,
them.
yeah, so detailed, and it's like 500 plus pages, and then it's a series. So kudos to Emil for having that talent and patience with drawing, with the details. It's just awesome.
And sometimes we take illustration for granted because we just go like, yeah, but
Mhm.
like the artists actually work on every single tiny detail.
Yeah, that's why it took me a while to finish, because I just wanted to look at all the details. Like, what?
Admire it.
It's like a crisscross kind of drawing, and it's like,
I
how
saw
does she do that? And then I tried to do it on my reading journal. It's like,
What is this?
I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, obviously.
Next book that I really liked was Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. I've read the first book of the Grisha trilogy
Shadow and Bone.
a long time ago, and I was like, what is this, man? Like, I was a bit skeptical when I saw this book at first, but then, I'm a big fan of Cindy, of Read with Cindy, and she had a book talk about Six of Crows, so I was like, oh yeah, might as well read it. But after a long time of not being able to borrow it from the library, we finally got a copy of it, and I read it. I guess one of the signs that a book is good is when I actually have to read it, like no matter what I'm doing. For example, if I'm downstairs, because I usually read at night before I go to bed, but with this one, I had to have it like next to me. So for example, if I need to breastfeed the baby, I would have like the book just right there, and then I would read while she's sleeping. Honestly, think it's that good. I give it a 5 out of 5 stars because it kind of reminds me of Money Heist in a way. There's this guy who hired these 6 criminals to do a heist, so I was like, ooh, they have like their unique personalities and stuff. I love how Lee Bardugo goes into their background, like how they became criminals and stuff, and what happened in their past. So the setting kind of reminded me of Game of Thrones. Lee Bardugo actually goes into detail with every single person's life, and it's very action-packed. Like I said earlier, there's books that go like this and then suddenly goes and it plateaus, and it's just like tuk, 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 tuk. But this one, every part was like had a cliffhanger, and it just makes you. Gave it of course 5 out of 5. It's actually quite thick as well. I think it's 400 pages at least. It usually takes me a month to finish a decent sized book, which is more than 300 pages now, but I finished Six of Crows within a week.
So my next book is The Prince and the Dressmaker by Jen Wang. So it's another graphic novel that I really like, because I don't know, graphic novels are my weakness because the illustrations are very cute.
Easy to read.
Yeah, easy to read. So the Prince and the Dressmaker is about a prince and a dressmaker.
Oh!
The prince hires a dressmaker, and they develop this unique friendship. When I first read it, I didn't really know what it's about. Because of the cover, I was thinking, oh, they're gonna fall in love. But
Romance.
then, the story really took me by surprise because I didn't read the synopsis, right? The story took place in the olden days, I think like 100 years ago, where the women were like petticoats and corsets and stuff. It also portrays that guys can wear dresses too if they want. So I gave it a 5 out of 5 because the story is cute, and I like how it doesn't end up like other contemporary novels where they fall in love, blah blah blah. It's not centered around romantic relationships.
Did you think that they were gonna fall in love?
That's what I was thinking at first because the cover.
When you look at the cover, it's like, oh, she probably makes dresses for potential brides, and then they fall in love.
Okay, last book we're gonna talk about is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor
I was
Jenkins.
like, Daisy Jones and the Six by Daisy Jones. We decided to read this because we absolutely loved Evelyn Hugo. We read it in 2018, and we've been hearing a lot of good reviews about this book. So Daisy Jones and the Six is a historical fiction that follows like the conception and demise of a rock band and what happened behind like their falling out. And we follow Daisy, who's like a rich kid who has it all easy, and she's like one of those easygoing, I don't care about anything, I don't care how I make people feel. And then we follow Billy Dunn of this band called The Six and the other band members as well, and we go into their personal lives and everything that built up to that last tour that they had together, and everything fell apart, and then no one knows why they broke up all of a sudden after their world tour. I liked how it was like interview format. Despite being interview format, it was still very descriptive of the characters' background, how they felt, and everything that was happening in the book. I just liked Evelyn Hugo better than this, mainly because I don't know, Evelyn Hugo, it blew my mind. This one was good too, but it wasn't as good. It wasn't really one of my favorite books of the year.
It's my favorite because I really like how the story was told. It was in a transcript format and it's easier to read.
Which one did you like more?
Of course, I like the Evelyn Hugo. When I was reading this, I didn't want to compare two books because even though they're the same author, it hits you differently.
I love the lyrics.
The
lyrics behind. I was like, what? It makes it feel like the band actually existed because there's actually lyrics there. It's like, are you sure this is fiction?
I like one of the characters who is Camilla Dunn. I also like how the females in this story are strong females, even though it was during the time 70s, I think.
Their rights weren't as strong as they are now.
Yeah, I think I gave it a 4 point something out of 5 stars.
I still gave it a 5. My definition of best is something that I would actually recommend.
Okay.
Okay.
So this book is gonna be a movie, I think, by Amazon Prime.
What?
Billy Dunn's gonna be that guy's son, Me Before You.
Was he Finnick O'Dare?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the movies.
I wonder who Daisy is.
It's someone we don't know.
So that is the list of the best books we've read in 2019. So what are your best books? And if you've read any of the books that we've mentioned, what did you think?
Check out our videos here and here.
See you soon
In the worst books of 2019.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks